Why, hello, it's me, MrSasaki, and today we're doing Beethoven Minuet in G from Suzuki Violin Book number 2, tutorial and playthrough. If you want to play through, use the chat below and skip ahead tutorial. If you're a super nerd like me, you will know this song from the musical, The Music Man. In this musical, we have our protagonist, Harold Hill, who's this con man salesman who goes into this small town. He promises to teach all the boys in the town to be in the marching band, and what he wants to do is just sell the instruments and the uniforms and then ditch without having to teach anybody anything. But there's complications. To convince people that he's an expert and he's cultured and all this kind of stuff, he sings the Beethoven Minuet in G. So he does da da dee da dee da dee da da dee da dum dee da dum, right? And everybody's like, oh, so classy, right? We trust you. Anyway, see how the musical turns out if you don't know. But most people know this song from Suzuki. The beginning of it is the tricky part of it. Let me just show you this. What we have is the part that I sang. It's going to be dotted 8th note with 16th slur, dotted 8th 16th, dotted 8th 16th, dotted 8th 16th with slur, and accents. And those accents are trouble. And if you know the musical, you know that it rhymes, starts with T, rhymes with P, and that stands for pool. What we need to know is we have T trouble for those accents. Do not worry about the accents, because what's going to happen is you're going to do this. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. 2, 3. We're going to be pounding those accents, those threes, and it's going to slow us down. So we want to think is 1, 2, 3, lift, lift, lift. Okay? So almost like the floor is going to bounce up, and then we're going to bounce. We're like, whoa, what happened? Whoa, what happened? We have a default here. Gravity is going to keep us here. We're going to lift, and it's going to plop back down. So think about the lifting, and you'll be faster, you'll be snappier, because you have to think about the rhythm. It has to be very snappy and quick. So we want to make sure that we're thinking of the lift, and then the plop will happen naturally. So I'll play it for you here. Next thing, we have measures 2 and 4. We need double up bows in these. So we have a half note, then a dotted 8th, 16th. Same thing in measure 14. So I'll play those for you. Here's measure 2. Save your bow throughout. Here we are. And then measure 14. Save your bow. That's all I can say about that. We need to talk about the hardest technical thing that we have here is measure 5. 1, low 1, super low 2, low 1, super low 2, low 1, 1. Now, with accents, again, don't do the accents. Don't worry about them. Don't worry about them. Think about lifting those fingers. So what we have is movement 1 to low 1 is from that bass knuckle. Do you see that? Just from the base of my hand, that knuckle is going to move the finger back and forth. Okay? So we're going to have 1, low 1, super low 2, which is equivalent to regular 1, 1, 2, 1, regular 1. So we're going to push back up. So what it's going to look like from here is going to be 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1. And again, that movement is all happening from that base knuckle, and the 2 is just going to hang out close to the 1. That's it. So I'm going to play it for you so you can kind of hear what it sounds like. That's it. So that also happens in measure 13. Just be aware. Pretty much exactly the same situation there, so make sure you're doing it for there. We need to move on to the trio. Now the trio is difficult for 2 reasons. We have a lot of accidentals, like everywhere. This is going to be your due diligence. Write in what you need. I don't know what you need. Write it in. So if you needed everything, write in low, high, arrows, the word low, H-I-G-H, whatever you need to write in to get those fingers to be in the right places, because I've heard it all. The ones that I can tell you for sure that gives everybody problems is going to be measure 14, G sharp, that's high 3 on the D string, mark it in, as well as measure 23, high 3 on the G string, C sharp. Just mark those in. I can just tell you that those are trouble, trouble, trouble. The other thing that we have with the trio is going to be the up bows. So you're going to notice here, quadruple up bow, 4 up bows here. All of those connected with the dots are going to be up bows. The staccato markings are all up bows. And then in the second half, we have triple up bows. So let me just play it for you. And again, this is where it's going to happen. Super important that we're going to be keeping our bow controlled. We're going to use sticky bows, so kind of a little bit of weight in there. And I really am going to try to use like 4 or 5 inches of bow. Here we are. continues for the next 2 lines. Make sure you're saving your bow, because if you use too much, you're just going to run out and it's going to be trouble. Trouble, trouble, trouble. If you can master all of that, practice slowly and really make sure that you're just keeping the sticky bow and doing little pushes with your arm. So boop, 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 that's it. Boop, 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 boop. And the friction of the weight is going to cause it to break and stop. The playthrough. We have a new form. We have this thing at the bottom. D, C, which stands for da capo, the head. Al fine, to the fine or to the finish. So what does that mean? We're going to go through, repeat, internal repeats. Okay, that's printed. DC al fine, we're going to go up to the beginning, to the head, the da capo, and we're going to go straight through to the fine. We're not going to do the repeats over here and here. So it's just straight through. I call it minuet style, and it's good to know. So here we go. Let's go from the beginning. We have allegretto as our tempo marking. Minuet is kind of like an older version of the waltz, similar tempo. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Alright, that's it. So how'd you do? Let me know in the comments below. If you found value in this, like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the last song for Suzuki Book 2. Bye.